2024. China. The FISE is back. The 1080. I'm the star of the show in the regiment. Can't stop me, bro. Ain't no pedaling. Ain't no riding the wave. Staring right in the face. You know that I'm getting it. This ain't back in the days. Get ready for now. You're ready to meet your riders.
It all comes down to this moment. Real question right now. Who is on top?
What is up, FISE family? I'd like to welcome you all to this first live stream of this weekend at the FISE World Series here on the banks of the Huangpu River in Shanghai in the lovely country of China. My name is Egon and I'll be your general commentator for this weekend and for this World Cup, World Cup Freestyle Park Women's Final. I have the one and only, the best looking man in inline skating, Freddy Blanc.
Okay, that's quite the introduction. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Egan. You're not bad looking either. I think we're pretty much rocking the place around here in Shanghai. Yeah, welcome back. 5 years. It's been 5 years since we were here with FISE in China. We changed locations and we are now set on the river in the west bund of Shanghai. Amazing location.
So a bit of a history lesson here. There's the actual Bund, which is a bit more up north actually here on the Huangpu River. Now this is the West Bund district, which is an up and coming area here. A lot of financial tech, med tech, all of like the up and coming country technologies, let's say. Now we're having a look here at the park that will be ridden by our athletes.
And it's a massive one, as you are used to seeing here at FISE. This time, I would dare to say that our team at Hurricane Parks went even crazier. Pascal Moras and his crew have been really busy building one of the craziest and best looking skate parks we've ever had at FISE. It's massive, it's full of options and lines. It's going to be very interesting to see what our riders are able to do here on the park.
I also heard from Pascal that they've been using new techniques to actually improve on the rigidity of the ramp. So let's say that all the pump that you put into it, like get more pop out of it. New kinds of coping or like the noping. And the modularity of it all, because this is a double-use park. But let's take a watch at the competition format.
Yeah, we'll have 8 riders here in the finals. I guess they will all go in one after the other. We'll have 2 runs of 50 seconds per rider, and the best score will count. The best of these 2 runs will count. And yeah, you were mentioning our new skate park technology. So startups are also applying to this freestyle park. We have Pascal being the mad genius here, and it's only one of the many skate parks we have on this massive venue.
Now this is also a double-use park because we're also using this for the BMX competition.
Indeed, which also says something about the magnitude and the sheer size of this course. So it's always a challenge for the inline skaters to adapt to this massive course. And we'll see how they do. We have a whole lot of criteria. The judging are experts in the sport and will be able to take all of these into account: style, progression, technical difficulty, and many, many more. I would say the use of the skate park, as you said, it's a double-use skate park, so this will be very interesting to see who manages to get the best run, the best line out of this massive skate park.
I'm also really curious about, like, there's this one little detail on the park, and it's the traditional Chinese pagoda, the temple that they've made as well. Has anyone already like tried a trick on it?
I've seen people taking selfies mostly. But yeah, very interesting obstacle, very good looking. Now, are we going to see someone use it in the park, in the contest? That's another question. And we have 4 experts here, 4 judges, as we said, our very own Blake Bird, Pascal Moras, who's also the designer of the skate park, Australian legend CJ Wellsmore, and street maestro Soichiro Kanashima. So all very experienced, very well versed in inline skating, roller freestyle, should I call it. And as you can see here, we have some highlights from yesterday. Our riders went all out on the course. We had some big flips, big spins on the main fly box, but then We also had different riders using different parts of the course and all bringing their own little twist to this course. So it's going to be interesting to see who has the most original line. And we're going to meet all our riders in a second now.
Okay, so after this highlight reel, we will go back to the park and we'll get ready for the rider introduction.
We are back again, China, this time in beautiful, sunny Shanghai. We are here for FISE 2024. It is part of our World Skate Championship. We're going to get right into rider introductions. Our first rider from Italy, Annalem Orostegui-Stead.
Newcomer in the
Our
scene.
second
She was doing
rider
really well in
from
Rome.
Japan, Sorachi Kawasaki.
We'll see a lot of Japanese riders here in
Our
the
third
finals.
rider from France, Armel Tisna.
And the sole French represented in those finals.
Our next rider out of Japan, Miyao Kaho.
Another one of Takeshi's students.
Our local rider in the finals from Beijing, China, Chi-Mu-Ge Han.
And she was the sensation yesterday. She skated the park very well.
Qualifier from Spain, Carla Marti.
Another well-known face here at FISE. He was 5th in Montpellier this year.
Our second place qualifier from Japan, Mei Miyoga.
She placed 3rd in the World Skate Games in Rome last month.
First place qualifier from Korea, Jong Soa.
And Soa destroyed the park yesterday. She placed 1st, as you saw here.
Put your hands together for women's roller freestyle. Come on.
And welcome back to the World Skate Roller Freestyle Park Finals here in the women's category. We're still at the West Bund of Shanghai here in China, and we're getting ready for our 8 riders to see who's on top in this competition, who's taking away the gold medal of this FISE World Series here in Shanghai.
And we have quite the lineup. As I said, we have a strong Japanese force representing on the course today. But first qualified yesterday, Young Seoa from Korea, taught well by our friend Kevin. She's been growing, she's been skating better and better, making quite a sensation online and on competitions. And I can't wait to see what the finals are gonna be like, because there's a lot of pressure for everyone to just hold the top spot, but she's proved again and again that she has the shoulders on her out of her young age, the shoulders to carry all this pressure to a gold medal.
Now we're getting ready for the Italian, for Annalem Orostegui. Now we saw that she took quite a nasty crash in practice.
Yes.
I mean, how will that impact this final for her?
I hope she's fine. I mean, she took it like a strong woman that she is. Like, she was able to carry on and make it all the way to these finals. I'm very curious to see what she has in store for us today. She performed very well in Rome at these World Skate Games we just mentioned, both in street and park. So now I'm quite curious. It's gonna be very interesting to see everything happening here today, and we're just about to get started. So sit down, relax, and enjoy the show.
50 seconds with Annalem on the clock for her first run. Let's go!
Here she's going with the front flip. She missed the switch up here on the coping, and as you now know, if you've been following us over the years, these are the kind of technical errors that can bring the score down just a little bit. No falls though, and that big 720 here. She's cruising, she's flowing through the park. Top sole on the quarter pipe, still going. 20 seconds left, using the A-frame box. But as we mentioned in the park presentation, whoa, backflip attempt here to finish the run. So we had a backflip on the fly box and backflip here in the quarter pipe.
Also keep in mind, it's 28 degrees right now here in Shanghai. It's humid, so every run that a rider does in any sport here this weekend feels like you're running a marathon.
It is even here in our comfortable little bunker box, self-insulated with some umbrellas and cardboard. We can feel the heat, and the river is just reflecting and bringing us all this warm, humid heat, keeping everyone very, very well warmed up for the competition.
So we had that strong start with the front flip.
Fronty, actually, you're right. Starting with the front flip and finishing off with the back flip attempt. Big 720 here on the quarter pipe. She's got the spin. She had some grinds as well, so it's a nice combination. But didn't go all the way through this A-frame.
Now, if you perform a grind on a box and you don't make it like all the way to the other side, will that give you, let's say, error points, or will it just be like a lower result instead of like the longer grind?
I think the judges would probably take a little, they would take it into account, because of course if you grind all the way through and if you flow all the way through the obstacle, then that goes into like the maximum amount of points you can get in terms of use of the course and flow.
So our next rider will be from Japan, and that is Kawasaki Sorachi.
And here she goes, one of Takeshi Yasutoko's students. Flowing through, I saw her perform some nice spins yesterday. But as you can see, using the course and finding, like, I think that was the main thing that impacted her score yesterday, is like trying to find the best line in the park, and she's like kind of looking around and trying to find the best way to use the park, but you know, like she's rolling around a lot, but not doing so many tricks. And I guess that is why, although she has like very nice style, very nice flow, she may be lacking a bit of amplitude and a bit of tricks. Missed a flip though. Missed a flip to finish things off.
You know what BMX riders were saying as well, it's a park with a lot of lines, but that might also imply there's too many lines to choose from.
Yes.
Which makes it harder finding your line, the line that you want to ride.
But I guess that's the whole point as well. I think that's why Pascal, both on this skate park and the park we'll be using for the amateur contest and the junior contest, he's trying to offer riders the possibility to really fully express their own personal style of riding and not force everyone to use the same line over and over, like flybox, quarter pipe, kind of like repeats the same line and judge people on how big or how hard they can do on these 2 or 3 obstacles that everyone will be using.
Yeah.
Here, it's really open to interpretation, and that's what I love. It's really, you know, these sports, these urban sports that we represent here at FISE are all about self-expression, and I think that's why these courses that we have this year are very well suited for the use.
To reward the creativity that goes into a line.
And let's see what Amel has in store for us.
From Japan to the other side of the world, we're going to La France.
Let's see how the jet lag impacts Amel, dropping in right now. Using like a flowy, wow, that was pretty nice. Came off a bit short on this back torque. Fishbrain freestyle here on the quarter pipe. But see, totally different start of a run compared to the other 2 riders. 540 here. And little fakey 360 dropping down. Lots of tricks all around. It's quite an original line. I like that she's using a lot of different obstacles. Sweat stance here on the coping. 15 seconds left. Maybe we would need like a bit more speed, a bit more amplitude, but it's a really technical run. She's been grinding a lot of different obstacles here.
Make it to the top side of the park.
And a little 360 and then fakey 540 to finish things off. That was really solid all the way throughout. 50 seconds, I assure you, not only the heat, but the sheer size of this course make it very hard to stay on your feet this long, let alone perform tricks all the way through. Overall, really solid performance for Armelle. Let's see some of the highlights right now. And this is one of her signature tricks, the backside torque, as you can see, balancing only on one foot, going all the way through, big and high, 540 here. She definitely had some very nice tricks, very well executed. Everything is very clean. Sweat stance here.
Yeah,
See,
locking in on the coping.
the noping. And that was the end of a run. So it's interesting because usually you see riders trying to use the upper part of the course to start their runs, and then they will start going in. And she went the other way around. She went through the whole park and then hit the higher obstacles at the end. And 70-point score to reward Armelle on this first run. Remember, the best of those 2 runs will count for each rider. So everything is still open. Everything is possible, and Yao showed us that she has also some very good tricks in store.
The number 2 from FISE Montpellier half a year ago.
Boom, and you can see why. Starting the big hip transfer to launch into this fly box with the nice 540 perfectly executed, going back up on the step up, and once again dropping back in. Very good flow.
Yes.
Perfect Misty flip. Carving fakie over the wrong shoulder.
She makes it look effortless.
Going Stockwell, as my friend the Mick would say, but she fell here on this 540. That's too bad. That's too bad. It was really, really a beautiful run so far. But as we said, the best of those 2 runs count. And so she still got a chance to improve on her second run and hopefully clean that up. And I really enjoyed that run.
I mean, just from the looks of it, of how she started that run, how she kept it going up into, let's say, the middle end. That looked like, let's say, a podium run from my perspective.
Absolutely. As we said, the flow and the use of the park are 2 essential factors, and she was really going her own way through the park. Everything was very clean, always landing on top of transition, but also throwing some big tricks. The Misty flip on the fly box. That's really, I think, the type of runs that the judges would want to see. Nice 5, going really flat over there, and holding the fakie afterwards. Going back up.
Using the upper side of the course.
Yeah, she's
to
really
build up that speed again.
She's really skating the park like a ball, which I think would be the best way to maintain your speed all throughout.
Conserving the energy with every jump, with every pump through the course.
And she still scores 62 points. Good enough to award her with the 2nd place so far. She will have a chance to improve on her 2nd run. But now we're going back to China with the local sensation, Shimoge. 50 seconds to impress both the judges and the early morning crowd.
Let's hope she brought some friends along from Beijing here to Shanghai.
Here we go. Also starting with the hip transfer here to... Wow. And also using that fakie carve to maintain that speed all through 540 here. Very nice. Also got a lot of speed. She's very young, I believe. She looks very tiny on this gigantic skate park, and yet she's cruising through, going really fast.
She does it without breaking a sweat. 10 more seconds for Han.
7:20 and a few more seconds. Fakie to finish with a fakie 5. So she showed us lots of spins on all different obstacles, a big flip on the fly box. Now she didn't grind any of the obstacles, if I'm not mistaken. But what's all the more incredible is to see her do this on a pair of adaptable skates from Power Slide. These are literally kid skates, which gives you an idea of the talent of this young ripper. She's still skating on size adjustable skates.
So there's no, let's say, professional model yet in her shoe size.
No, but give her a couple of years and maybe we'll see her name on the skate. If she keeps on progressing this much, look at this 720, flawless. And I like that she's sticking the landing and keeping her fakie stance all the way through. She was cruising through the ballpark, and that is pretty good indeed. 74.75. First place for now. We got 3 more riders to go in this first heat. And then we'll go back to the top of the list for their second run.
So still a lot can change. It is that best run that will count for the total score of these athletes. Next athlete will be from Spain. That is Carla Martin.
And things will only get better because we're going in reverse order from the qualifying runs yesterday. So the best riders are still yet to come. Carla cruising through and throwing the big misty flip on the fly box. Saving, oh wow.
Come on, Carla, come on. She has that FISE experience, 5th place in Montpellier.
And she has the cardio, 25 seconds to go on the park. It's hard to keep on going after a miss like this. You, of course, lose a lot of speed. It's hard to maintain composure after a near crash, but yet she's still going, using every chance to score some points. Big 720 here on the quarter pipe, and she stays on her feet. I think that will be it for Carla Martin. Maybe not the first run that she would have hoped for, but still on her feet all the way through those very hot 50 seconds.
Now, Freddie, you have that contest experience as well, the competition experience. In a competition like this, can temperature be a deciding factor for riders? Like maybe someone is not as good to cope with hot temperatures than others. Is that something that you've seen in competition as well?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't recall any specific example, but for sure, if you're local and you're used to skating that type of weather, this hot, humid temperature, I was skating in Bangkok last week, and for sure the first couple sessions you struggle to adjust, and then you watch the locals and they're not breaking a sweat. So obviously it takes some time to adapt. We've been here for a couple of days though, and they've had a few open sessions and warm-up practices here on the park. And thankfully it's still early in the morning. I can only imagine how hot it's going to get through the day. We don't have a single cloud in the sky right now.
It's actually a pretty clear day here in Shanghai today.
66.25 points for Carla. She grabs 3rd place for now. And yeah, thankful we've got this umbrella to also stay fresh in the studio.
And our cardboard box to keep the sun out of the screen. Next rider from Japan, Montpellier's number 4. The World Championships from last month in Rome. Bronze medalist, Mei Miyoga.
Forced to reckon with, starting with the big front flip. Fishbrain stall. As you said, she's got quite the resume to show for presence here. Oh, going fake into the big hip. To forward here in the fly box. And going for the grind. I can only assume this was a kind grind. And here was a sweaty. Ow! She comes off a little early. Still maintains her speed.
I mean, that is a long grind box to grind all the way.
Wow, perfect alley Fishbrain with the grab here on the coping. 10 more seconds to go. 360 topsoil on the coping. So some technical grinds we've seen. The big flip to start off the run. And 720. Wow.
That was a full pole run by the Japanese Mai Miyoga.
Absolutely. So now you can see why she's ranking so high, why she was able to grab this bronze medal in Rome. She has now some experience. She's been around the world already and always performing very well, taught very well by her coach Takeshi Yasutoko, the vert legend out of Japan. And it shows. Look at this front flip. She almost over-rotated and still manages to stick it. Going all over the course, lots of power. Big fakie transfer into that launch, and here the wonderful sweat stance. Wow, posture is impeccable, fully topside on that sweat stance. And here the alley-oop fish. So very nice combination of grinds, spins and flips. Good use of the course. I would imagine this is gonna get her quite a good score. Good enough for first place, we will see now. 71.75. Second place for May. Definitely a solid option for the podium here. And maybe even the win. We got a second run afterwards. So she get a chance to improve on that first score. But now we're traveling to South Korea with the young prodigy.
One of the youngest riders on the course today?
Yes, and obviously one, if not the most talented. She qualified first with more than 6 points lead on her next opponent. She was dominating in the qualifiers. Let's see if she can pull it together to get today. Big 540. Wow. Zero spin back royale here. Looking over the left shoulder, maintaining speed through the run. We lost her for a bit, but we're back on track. Oh, near miss.
Saved it.
Saved it very well. Royale to topsail here. Kind of stumbling on that switch up. Very hard and very technical though. Fakey Misty on the transition. 10 more seconds to go. One last trick for you. Whoa.
Oh. Too bad for young Seoa.
Yeah, she had some near miss all through the run, at least a couple of those, and that definitely impacts the ability to maintain her speed and flow through the park. So maybe that's why she was not able to pull that 720 at the end. I hope she's all right. That was a nasty fall.
Looks like she hurt herself pretty bad on that last trick that she performed.
Yeah, came up short and landed on the edge of the fly box.
That was a 540 where she started with.
Absolutely impeccable though, like the form was absolutely perfect. And here she missed the back full torque and still managed to save it with the back torque foot. Only the back foot kind of went off the coping. She went back in. Here the fakey Misty well above the coping. Lots of tricks still.
She was also the first rider to hit that pyramid box in front of the wall, I think, in this final.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is also one of the removable objects because for the BMX competition, that wall will be used for wall rides and stuff. Also the middle obstacle, the grind box, will also be removed for the other competitions.
63 points for young Seoa. A bit disappointing, I think. I hope she's fine and she manages to put her run together in the second and final run passage heat.
Next up, we're going back to l'Italia.
Annelim Arestogi starting off with the big front flip. And Royale 270 back into the quarter pipe, charging. Going for the hip. I expect 720 here. Absolutely perfect.
Come on, Annelim. Vai.
Topsail here. And came up short again on that little A-frame box. Oh, no. Unfortunately, she fell on that backflip attempt, and that will be it for her second run. So quite similar to the first. Unfortunately, she fell both times at the end of her run on that backflip.
Still a very impressive feat by Annelim. As you said, she's a newcomer on the World Cup scene as well.
Absolutely. I had not heard of her actually until Italia, the World Skate Games last month in Roma, in Ostia. So yeah, always interesting to see new faces show up on the scene.
And that's also the beauty of the FISE World Series. Like every competition, there's these new talents, new names, the old and the new.
Absolutely, new faces and new tricks. It's just opening the ranges of what's possible on skates. And especially on the junior competition, on the women competition, you see the... We used to see a lot of the same faces for a couple of years, especially in the women competition. And the last couple of years, it's exploded. So it's very nice and very refreshing to see the scene growing, to see the limits of the sports being pushed by those female athletes. And here's another of these young Japanese skaters pushing the limits of the sport, being trained by one of the greats of the sport, Sorachi Kawasaki, dropping in for a second and final run, flying, whoa, literally flying over the box. She almost overshot it.
Using all that potential energy from the highest part of the course.
Charging through, big air.
Getting funky with the legs.
Carving through the corner over there. Oh no! Missed the Macchio on the A-frame box. Still got 10 seconds to go. But it's so hard to get back at it after a miss. All your speed is gone and you have to, whoa, and whoa, insane. Missed a flip to the flat of the fly box, bounce back into the landing. But yeah, that miss in the middle of the run, that's really cruel. It's really hard to put it all together after. Wow, she was flying well over that box. A nice stale grab here on the quarter pipe. You can tell, I would bet that she's skating quite a lot of vert in Japan, which can help for a course that is that big.
Getting used to that transition, knowing how to pump through it to optimize your run. Sending some love to the people watching at home. I think in Japan and China time difference will be, I think it's 1 hour later in Japan right now.
I think so, yes.
Having lunch and watching the competition.
So she will keep that first run score as well. No improvement so far.
So two riders already have their final score. Both Annelim and Sorachi.
And the highlight so far, the girl to beat is the local Chinese Ripper, Ximuje Han, all the way from Beijing, came here to Shanghai to represent the local scene, and so far in first place. She's the girl to beat. Armel is gonna try and do just that. Back talk all the way through. Perfect. Topside point start here on the quarter pipe. She showed us in the first run a good mix of spins and grinds. Fakey 360 back into the transition here. Another spin, using all the hips on the course, really cruising through, trying to touch every obstacle.
She's ready for the last quarter of her run.
Topsoul lock was not exactly perfect, but she manages to keep on going and charging back up. That's the very insane part to me, is like trying to finish a run all the way back to the top when you have to use so much energy just to get back up there.
That last trick was on the buzzer, so it seems.
Guess it counts.
Like, what does the Federation rulebook say about the timer and ending your run?
You would have to ask our wonderful technical consultants at World Skate. I think Johan Bertoneau would have the precise answer, but I do believe that if she's on the way to that trick, like already in the transition, then that would actually count. But here are some highlights, and especially that first backside torque. Floating all the way through that A-frame, that was absolutely beautiful. And here, the sweat stance as well. It's that nice French jersey. I'm not sure if I can. Ooh, yeah, that was unfortunately a miss on that TTS. The topside foot was not fully locked. 360 here, and the fakie 5 to finish things off.
What amazes me even more, she is doing this with a beautiful manicure.
Yeah, she likes to keep the outfit on point, including the beautiful French jersey. Now residents of Greece, I'm not sure I will be allowed to wear one of those, unfortunately, for my run today.
Well, you can wear a beautiful Hellenic outfit.
I think, given the heat, I'll probably be skating half naked. Armel Tisler improves big time on that second run, 73.47. Second place. Very nice and huge bump in the rankings. So far sitting in the podium.
So our Montpellier number 2, Miao Kao, dropping in 50 seconds on the line for her.
Absolutely incredible, a young rider. Oh, no, 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 no! Oh, that's too bad. I was looking forward to that second run so much.
And that happened so early on in the run.
Yeah, it's hard to bounce back from such a fall at the very start of your run. Starting with that hip transfer here to get the speed, really flying, and then hitting that fly box. A misty flip, keeping the fakie, keeping it stuck well. Yeah, that trademark belongs to Matt Mickey out of Intuition Skate Shop. Shout out, Mick. Wow.
Oh, hand plant.
Yeah,
misty flip.
and flip 360, something like this. And Pornstar all the way through. She held it. And fakie 5 to finish things off. And that makes me regret that early fall all the more, because that second part of the run was absolutely impeccable. She did some big flips on the course. She did some grinds. She went all the way through that A-frame and finished off with a perfect fakie 540. That's really, really too bad, because that fall, of course, is going to impact the score big time.
Mm-hmm. But still showing great sportsmanship by just
Absolutely.
getting back on the ramp, start that run again, and show the crowd and the judges what she had.
Yeah, that was very, very beautiful. And once again shows the progression of the sport. Big 540. Another 5. She really got like a very nice combination of both flips and spins, but also she's got the grinds on lock. Yeah, that hand flip. And lots of power, like she's really floating through, locking that grind all the way through to fakie, back into the quarter pipe, and finishing off with the fakie 5. She does improve her score though, 64.66, which is saying quite a lot given that she did fall in a run, and that was potentially a winning run without the little mistake there. But now we're going back to the very top of the list.
That's right. 4 more riders left in this FISE World Series Shanghai Roller Freestyle World Cup.
Representing the Chinese Federation, dropping in here and starting things off with a big 540, keeping the fakie, carving through that quarter pipe over there, that quarter bowl, and charging back up.
Now Han currently in the lead here in this Roller Freestyle World Cup final Will she improve her score and further solidify that first place?
So far, she's being very solid on the skate park. She got a couple fives, big 720 right here, and 15 more seconds to go to try and lace a few more tricks. Backside UFO here on the quarter pipe. Fakie 5, and probably her final trick right now. Another fakie 540. So a lot of spins. She seems to be very comfortable just flying and spinning around. We didn't see too many grinds. And I don't want to blame the skates, but once again, this very nice transformer skates from Power Slide might be in this tiny size, lacking a bit of space on the groove tricks. Very tiny frames, but beautiful performance by Han Chimizhu. And I apologize in advance if I butchered her name. My Chinese is not what it used to be. And big 5 here. So a couple of 540s, big 720. Nice run all the way through. Keeping the nice flow here with the fakie back into the hip. And stayed on her feet, throwing tricks all the way till the final buzzer. So will it be enough to improve her score? The Chinese sensation currently sitting in first place. She does not. She does not. A very similar score on both runs. The first one will stay. So we got 3 more competitors, all with a chance to improve on the first run and take the first spot.
3 more riders that have a chance to jump over Han Shimuga.
Thanks for checking on that illegal translate tool that you have on your phone.
Next up, the heat from Spain, Carla Martin.
Well-known face here at FISE. She's been competing now for several years. She's got a nice combination of technical spins, like this Misty flip right here. Oh, no, no, no!
Carla.
The spin was absolutely flawless, but she kind of, I don't know, missed a little bit on that landing. Like,
we'll have to see it in the slow-mo replay. But first, 20 more seconds for Carla on the clock, on the timer.
soul grind all the way through. Ali with Mizu here on the coping. 10 more seconds to go. And 720. She does not land that one either. That's crushing it hard to fall on that last trick.
So that probably means Carla is gonna stick with that score from her first run.
I would imagine so. That's too bad. So you were asking how much does the heat and the humidity, especially in that Shanghai weather, impacts the performance. What happened here? Like, oh, she got a little bit of speed wobbles here, charging through the park, and yeah, something went wrong. Obviously, I don't want to point at the hardware, but she got some speed wobbles and didn't maintain the composure on that fakie landing. So obviously we stick with the first score, which is good enough for fourth place so far.
Her last best result was the 5th in Montpellier, so that means she can improve on that one. But first, we'll be checking on Japanese Mei Miyoga, bronze medalist from the World Championships just last month in Rome, and the number 4 from FISE Montpellier.
Beautiful style and beautiful tricks, starting with the big front flip, and this time the landing is absolutely flawless. Fish brain stole right there, going all in, trying to take that gold medal back home. Cruising through, very nice run so far. Nice amplitude, nice spin. Kind grind, absolutely perfect. The stance is wow, and she does a sweat sense all the way through. So far, this is a huge improvement on the first run. She's really putting it all together. 17 seconds to go. Ali Fishbrain once again perfect. Wow, this is the performance we're all waiting to see. 270 topsoul, 360 topsoul here on the quarter pipe. We got 5 more seconds, one last trick and a chance to take the gold. Mei Miyoga with a 720 and she stays on her feet. Hell yes, score to beat 75 points and one absolutely amazing performance by Mei Miyoga.
After a slip up in that first run, she just pulled the most perfect run here on the West Bund in Shanghai. Mei Miyoga doing it for Japan.
And doing it for the local scene and her coach, Takeshi Yasutoko, who must be very proud watching us live now. Starting off with this perfect front flip. Like, I mean, literally, I could say this for every trick because every trick was absolutely flawless. That sweaty all the way through that A-frame with the little angle, keeping it topside all the way through alley fishbrain with the grab. This was very, very impressive. And the amount of speed and amplitude she carried all the way through that run was also like one of the factors that the judges are looking for. And this is the only near miss in a run on the final buzzer, but she stayed on her feet, and I would imagine the judges are going to be a little more lenient when it comes to scoring that one. Score to beat 75 points, as you could see, a lot of big tricks in those highlights. Will it be enough?
Like those wheels were holding on for dear life on that last fakie maneuver.
Absolutely, she knows that a fall at that very moment would probably cost her that gold medal. But now she is in the mix. She's very much in the mix to take that gold medal home.
That will be up to Blake, Pascal, CJ, and Kanashima in the judging booth right now.
Yeah, lots of pressure on the shoulder. Thankfully, we don't have to make these kind of decisions. 78 points for Mei. She takes first place.
But the contest is not finished yet.
Absolutely not, because if anything, this is now a battle of the coaches. Mei being coached by Takeshi from Japan, Takeshi Yasutoko, the legend, and now Yang Seoa being coached by our friend Kevin from Korea. These are probably two of the best coaches all around the world when it comes to inline skating, teaching the basics and the highly technical maneuvers. Now it's time for Yang to show us what she got.
So after a slip up in that first run, she's here for redemption.
Perfect 540. Zero spin back rail on the A-frame. Indeed, she's the only one touching that obstacle in the whole competition. Wow, flat spin 360 on the quarter pipe with high amplitude. Stopping for half a second here on top of the flybox. 540 on the quarter pipe. She's putting a lot of tricks together. 360 topsoul as well. This was one of the highlights for Mei. So she's going tricks for tricks. Try 360 topsoul again. And fakie 5, few more seconds. I think that will be it. And 720, well after the buzzer though. I don't think this one will count.
So still in the hot seat right now is the Japanese Mei Miyoga. But
I mean, that was a very strong performance as well. She did manage, after that terrible fall in the first round, she managed to put it all together and bring us the very best she could on this skate park, the very best she could do on a skate park. With this very nice side flip of flat spin 360, way high over the coping. 360 topsoul.
But now the medal and trophy for the winner. We'll find out if it's going to be a flight back to South Korea or a flight to the land of the rising sun, Japan.
Where is that medal going? Let's see. That 720, if I am correct, came after the final buzzer, so might not count, but definitely a nice highlight to rewatch with all of you here at FISE Family. And that was it. So now the pressure is off the shoulders of the riders, and it's all on our judges. Well, Takeshi-san in the tribunes overlooking the course, waiting for the result of his young protege.
We already have the men getting ready for their
Oh yeah, and you can...
qualification today.
Yes, absolutely. Qualification run today. And she does improve on her score, I believe, and bumps in second place.
And that means we have an all-Asian podium.
Very nice, very nice. And you can see the joy of our riders.
So the
Joy of the coach as well. Very proud Takeshi here.
Everyone is stoked for each other. So Han Kimuje will take the bronze back to Beijing. The silver medal will go with Yang Seowa. But that gold medal, the World Cup win here in Shanghai, is for Mei Miyoga.
Japanese prodigy. She performed very well in past events. We kind of know now what she's capable of, but she's stepping it up every time. This was probably the most beautiful run I've seen her perform here on one of those FISE events that we've had all throughout the year and these past years as well. And a very nice score, 78 points, very nice performance.
And if we look back at FISE Montpellier, we have Carla Martin finishing in 5th again. Mei Miyoga, Montpellier 4th. Now here the gold medal win.
So yeah, when it comes to the World Series themselves, the overall rankings, I am not sure if we will get to get an update on that. But that will be interesting to see how these scores compile.
Now let's take a look at the highlights of this finals.
So we started off with some big flips and the level kept on rising all throughout the event. Just as the heat is rising up here on the West Bund.
Baffles me how she held on to that one.
Because she knew a gold medal was waiting for her at the end.
So that was our first competition, our first televised competition here this weekend at the FISE World Series of Shanghai. That was the World Skate Roller Freestyle Park Final in the women's category. Now, we still have tons of action coming on this weekend. We still have BMX, Freestyle Park, breaking, flatland, skateboard, and scooter riding. But in March next year, we already have a next FISE planned. And then we are going to the city of Macau for the Battle of Champions. You've ever been to Macau, Freddy?
I have not.
From what I've heard, it's a beautiful place to go. It's the entertainment city in China.
That's that's the only thing I know about it, is that it's the place to go if you're looking to have a good time.
champions. This is the big show.
Are you ready to meet these riders?
So that was our teaser for the FISE Battle of Champions in Macau. That will be an invitational contest just for skateboarding with a 70,000 euro prize purse. First place is gonna win 10,000 euros.
That sounds like a healthy prize pot. All right, so I guess Macau is the place to be in March. I'd love to see it. You're gonna be live?
I'm not sure yet if they'll invite me over to Macau, but we'll see.
Oh, man, I hope you do, because I can't wait to hear your voice on the other side of the screen this time.
Can you imagine winning that contest, 10,000 euro, and then you're flying back home, and then it's like, nothing to declare, sir? No, just a 10,000 euro prize purse and this big gold medal.
Yeah, you probably have to hide the medal, and and probably if you gamble all that money before you leave the island, you might just come back. It's the same.
We still have crowds coming in because after this BMX. But first, we're gonna listen to AJ honoring our winner.
All right, competition's complete, and we are about to finish up with our podium here in beautiful Shanghai. First, we will go over the people handing out our prizes today. For third place, it will be the Deputy General Manager of the West Bund, Chen Anda. Second place, the Technical Delegate of World Skate, Roller Freestyle, Johan Berteno. And handing out our first place medal, the Director of Sports Bureau of the Shanghai District, Zhang Ying. So, without further delay, let's get into our podium. Our third place podium finisher from Beijing, Timuga Hall.
各位观众，感谢大家来到世界轮滑联会极限轮滑世界杯女子公园赛的决赛的颁奖现场。首先，现在我们看到的是我们本次比
So
赛的
that bronze
第
medal
三
is going back to Beijing.
来自中国的选手韩萨人齐莫格，为他颁奖的是来自西岸集团副总经理西万文化董事长陈安达。
If I'm not mistaken, this is her first FISE
Our
podium.
second place podium competitor from Korea, Jang Soo-ah.
现在上场的是第二名，来自韩国的 Jang Soo-ah。
Lots of hearts, lots of smiles. Great performance by the young Korean.
Getting the trophy handed by Johan Berthelot.
竞技及音乐总监 David。
And Shanghai, make some noise! We have our FISE Shanghai World Skate Champion. It is Mei Miyoga from Japan.
的冠军来自日本的 Mei Miyoga。
And she absolutely killed it today. Well-deserved first place for Mei Miyoga.
With that redemption run after the slip up in
接下
the
来
first run of her.
是徐汇区体育局局长张英女士。
And see if we can have a little talk with May. Maybe.
And that is our podium at this World Skate Roller Freestyle World Cup. So once again, Han Gumuje, Yang Seoa, and the winner, the first place, Mei Miyoga.
An all-Asian podium which shows the strength of these emerging scenes on the worldwide contest series. We had some well-known faces from France and Spain, for instance, that were trying their best to get on the podium, but they were not letting go of these 3 first places. So we'll have some photos now, and a lot of smiles again.
And now on, let's say, the World Skate World Cup. What's the next event, let's say?
I think this is the closer for Federation sanctions events here in Shanghai.
For this year?
Yes, absolutely.
Any ideas for 2025 yet?
I haven't received the schedule yet.
Right. So let's listen to our winner, Mei Miyoga.
All right, we are here with our champion, Mei Miyoga. Mei, how do you feel having won your first FISE competition, and is there anyone you would like to thank?
We have a translator helping out as well.
初めての上海で2年ぶりのフィセで優勝できて嬉しいです。
She said, I'm so happy to she got the win in Shanghai, and she always said, thank you for supporters and parents and friends and cheers.
All right, once again, that'll do it for our Women's Roller Freestyle Championship. Thank you, Shanghai.
And there we have it. That was our first competition live here at the FISE World Series in Shanghai. Freddy, once more, thank you for helping me out in this competition.
Thank you for having me. Early
So
morning.
we'll be back this weekend. We still have more action coming up. FISE family, see you next time.